podcast, Gary. This is not a podcast, Gary. This is just a radio talk show. I do not consider this a podcast. These guys with podcasts clearly have a bad rep.
Look, there's nothing wrong with a guy with a podcast. It's just like, they just giving too much attention to the wrong ones.
Right. And they're making Brittany Renner be the voice of women. Like, right? That's what I say. Like, get this off. Like, stop interviewing.
Y'all don't remember that video of Brittany Renner when she literally said that she fucked 4 dudes within 1 week and got a mean yeast infection?
Right.
That's disgusting.
Why y'all take her serious, bro? Like, just because she's light skinned and got a fat ass, don't mean y'all gotta, like, put her on a pedestal. The JdotStudios show. I'm your host, Jonathan JS, whatever you want to call me. Here in New York City, I'm here with my co-host
Eric J, little greatness, but you don't know me, so you call me by that, not Gary.
And today we got a little interesting topic today. It's something that's kind of like, I don't know how to like step right into this. So today I want to talk about more of like the music industry and the rap industry and how these artists are portrayed and how their public image can kind of get what happens when their public image gets crossed with their real life. And today I want to talk about going to the topic of Isaiah Rashad and his whole scenario, basically him being outed today. Him being outed today as being a gay man with a very graphic video that I do not recommend people watch.
Yeah, I really regret, walking home from college and then you just get a notification on Twitter about one of your favorite rappers, your favorite artist too, and then you just like happen to see why people are talking about him, I don't even want to see like one of my favorite rappers bone a chick, feel me? So like why would I want to see him bone a dude? Like, I don't want to see any of my favorite artists boning.
Yeah, so basically just going into that whole topic today, what we're going to be talking about is basically, like I said, how they when their lives basically cross with one another. Because the whole thing with Isaiah Rashad is and why it's kind of like blown up, and I've noticed some comparisons to Lil Nas X, but I'll get into that. And the whole reason why it's blown up right now is because there's a lot of, if you listen to Isaiah Rashad, because we're both fans of Isaiah Rashad and everything like that, and a lot of his music, it's more of like chill back, like for guys, more, it's like how would you say, it's like more of a like melodic, but like,
it's like a mixture of like Southern and West Coast, cause like he's from Tennessee, and he's also like signed to a California-based label, so it's like he got that fusion of it, but it's also himself, that like it can be old school sometimes, but it's new school, but it's not. But it's also like underground. It's experimental. It's like he sounds like himself.
Yeah, like and he's in he's put in the category of artists like J. Cole, Freddie Gibbs, and what would you say another artist that like kind of relates down to him?
The whole TDE. That's why he signed them. Kendrick Lamar. Like if y'all know who Black Hippie is, that's Kendrick. That's Ab-Soul. That's J Rock and Schoolboy Q. And like he used to date SZA too. So like around that realm.
And like you just said, that's his image. He used to date SZA. He's around all those type of artists. And that type, like his category of rap, basically, like the image that he portrays, being a gay man does not fit with that at all. So it's understandable why he would hide that so much from the mainstream, as I've never even heard of a snippet of anything coming out about Isaiah Rashad possibly being gay or anything like that.
I mean, he's probably bi. I mean, bi is still gay, but like, I mean, he probably is bi. He was just talking about the one side of things.
Yeah, like you were saying though, it kind of goes into like the whole look of like the music industry and everything like that. Because then a lot of comparisons have been brought up against like Lil Nas X, and people are saying like, oh, how come Lil Nas X wasn't basically, why aren't people, because here's the whole point. Isaiah Rashad's image is, he's with Kendrick Lamar, he's with TD, he signed to TDE, he has, he's more of a West Coast, old school type of vibe. That's the image that he's been portraying for years.
Yeah.
Lil Nas X, when he first came on, Lil Nas X, he had the Old Town Road song, blew up like crazy.
And the EP as well.
Exactly, and then he never really had like a image. It was just the Old Town Road guy.
Yeah, what they call him, the Roblox guy.
Exactly.
that was the thing, and then he actually had the chance to come on Twitter and to let people know, like, oh yeah, by the way, one of the songs I wrote was about a guy. I'm gay.
Yeah, exactly.
Shoot, don't use that for any meme. Chill, no. Yeah, but like now Isaiah Rashad, he just didn't get the chance. It's just like somebody had the video, uploaded it without his permission, and then now it's like everybody knows about him. Even if it's like a celebrity thing where people like have issues of their videos getting leaked, and it's because of the issue because like they didn't want this with their own permission. It's like I remember I think I mentioned this on your show before. I had a paper I wrote about Hulk Hogan where he had his tape leaked, and in that tape he said the N-word. So now it's basically you see him come out as racist when he had a chance to come out as that. And now Isaiah, at that moment, I kind of see like why, but like now Isaiah Rashad didn't get the chance to actually come out as gay.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a really good point. Like he never really had the chance. He never really like I said, it wasn't a part of his image. And when it comes down to Lil Nas X, when Lil Nas X first came, like when he first started to establish himself as Lil Nas X, he was able to come out and be like, okay, I'm gay. So now that was a part of his image, and now his fan base, everyone around that is going to go to that category of like hip hop. That he has a demographic. Isaiah Rashad's demographic is not Lil Nas X. Like as much, it's not that people are like I'm not saying that people are like against him or anything like that, but it's just that that's just not his demographic, and it doesn't appeal to his type of the people that listen to his music. So then that's why it kind of just divulges into this whole thing where you're kind of getting where you have Isaiah Rashad's now he's probably gonna go MIA for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he just released a really good album too.
Yeah, it was like an album. Like, now I also want to know off this album, it was off of him battling addiction and depression. So like now this is happening, and it's like, yo, you're pushing him back into a dark place. So now I actually kind of feel bad for him, you know? Like,
it sucks, you know, and that's what. And it's like I said, his last album was about like getting like addiction and depression. Lil Nas X's last album was about what? I mean, it was him dance. I've seen the music video and dancing in prison with like naked dudes. So it's like that's, you see, it fits his angle, but Isaiah Rashad, it doesn't fit his angle. So, and then it's kind of interesting because this kind of just goes into like a deeper category. Because it's not Isaiah Rashad, but it kind of like exposed something to me about how deep this goes into like the music industry and how much these artists try to portray like a certain image and how it comes off. Because honestly, seeing this come out about Isaiah Rashad, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these other artists have secret lives on the other side. Even though I'm sure a lot of us should already understand that none of these artists are the people that they exactly portray.
Yeah, now everything's for social media. Trust me, it's all fake.
Exactly, they're really rich people. Trust me, Young Boy is a very rich guy. Yes, he does some wild stuff, but he's a very rich guy. He's not exactly
ratio.
Oh, the Twitter thing.
Oh
my God! Don't tell me you be in the comment section doing that game.
I do not do that. I do not even comment on no pictures, none of that stuff. No, I just read comments, and you just go.
So then, like I was saying, it basically goes right down to like the whole like image and being portrayed and everything it is, and it kind of is. And I want to say it's kind of like a dangerous thing, as it kind of weirdly it kind of wraps up into what we were saying last time with the whole image thing about people like portray a different image and everything like that. Yeah. But that's just regular people. I'm talking when it comes to the celebrity base. When it comes to like these celebrities portraying the image of something that they're not, and you have these fans like believing in these people, wanting to go hardcore for these people, like literally doing everything just to be like that person, and then you find out it's a whole lie and everything like that. It's kind of that's a good point you bring up when you're talking about, well, people like, if you're a real fan of him, are you gonna stop listening to him because an embarrassing video of him came out? No, like I'm still gonna listen to Isaiah Rashad. There's nothing like, I'm not gonna go cancel him or like block him. No, like I'm still a fan of him. But like I said, it goes into more of like, it really goes into like a deeper topic of to the whole the image of these people that like they're put like on a pedestal and everything like that. And me and my boy was talking about this earlier, about how we were talking about how like we were talking like the whole like thing about it and everything like that, like how it shows their public image and everything like that. And it's like I don't think people kind of understand that a lot of these people are just like me and you. A lot of these artists are just like me and you. At one time in their lives, they were probably sitting on the couch too, playing video games, doing something with their friends, go smoking a blunt with their friends, not really having that much money on them, having like $10 in their pocket at a time. Trust me, a lot of these, I think a lot of people forget that. A lot of these artists were just like us one nowadays. These people are people. They have things that they hide, just like we all have secrets that we hide. They all have secrets that they hide from other people too. You know, it's not necessarily that they're this person that they like to portray in all their songs and everything like that. Like I said, I'm sure YoungBoy, he probably was like that at one time, but like I bring up YoungBoy a lot because I think he's like honestly the biggest example of this. Because I remember when he
was that makeup thing, like it was controversial, like
it's like, why is that controversial? That's just him being him. But
even before, let's take like 10 years back. Remember when Frank Ocean openly came up on Tumblr talking about how he spent a summer with a dude, and then he came out with the song Forrest Gump, and then now like people like were kind of shunning him because like, he's gay.
Yeah, and like you said, it really just ties into like all, and like you said, when you bring up other artists, you really start to notice that it's kind of like, what's the point I was just about to say?
Homophobic, like
not like necessarily like a homophobic like viewpoint on these artists, but it's just kind of like it's like I said, it just shows that these guys just all hide their own secret lives and everything like that, and it's not necessarily because like I said, I'll go back. I'm probably gonna cut all that out because I was bad, but
I'm saying like with the secret life thing though, like it's like it's your privacy, everybody has a secret that they wouldn't want to share, like okay, when it comes to secret lives, I understand, like, they probably shouldn't, like, keep it to some extent, but to an extent, it's their own privacy. And in this situation, Isaiah Rashad probably just wasn't, like, comfortable with that being known because he knows how the world gets when specifically a man comes out as gay and not really accepting of it.
Yeah, and that's the other thing I want to get into, too. Like, it's really just the whole viewpoint of a guy. Like, a guy, like, it's as much as I know, a lot of people want, like, as much as dudes don't, like, as want to admit it, or they're kind of like nervous to admit it, but it's a lot of guys don't want to stay. It's hard. I feel like there's a reason why Lil Nas X is dominating a certain demographic right now.
Yeah.
Because he's the only dude in that demographic right now. Well, he's not the only dude, but he's like dominating that demographic of like being that gay hip hop artist.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people did not want to see that for years.
I mean, then again, during the time that he did it versus the time that Frank Ocean did it. Frank Ocean did it when gay marriage was still illegal in most states, and Lil Nas X did it when gay marriage was legal in every state. And I don't know, like, if gay pride was like the parade or the month, the holiday was still a thing when Frank Ocean did it. I'm not sure. Don't fact check me on that. But now with Lil Nas X, now we have like gay main characters on children's shows. Nothing wrong with that. It's like I'm just pointing out the fact that we're more accepting towards gay people now, which is why Lil Nas X is able to capitalize off it and succeed with it. And plus, also, he's a positive image. He's not like somebody talking about smoking, drinking, or like shooting people. But his songs are like, he may have some raunchy lyrics, but like he's mostly for the kids. So that's why he's able to like be as successful as he is.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. He, like I said, he targets his specific demographic. But once again, nigga, going back to like when YoungBoy was wearing the makeup, or Isaiah Rashad, the leaked video coming out on them, they're not in that demographic. They're in a different demographic, and their audience doesn't want to see something like that.
Their audience it's because like YoungBoy and Isaiah Rashad, their audience is catered towards the male population. YoungBoy is catered towards like the younger, like maybe a kid to like young, like early 20s, where like Isaiah Rashad, like you probably, if you were in your 20s when you first heard of him, you're probably in your 30s right now. Like, so it's like those type of demographic, they're not the same age group as people that listen to Lil Nas X.
Yeah. And it's kind of a real interesting depiction of like the music industry and everything like that. Yeah. Because like you said, there's multiple examples of this. Going back to Frank Ocean when he had his whole scenario when he first came out. And I remember when Frank Ocean actually first came out. I remember the reaction to it was really negative towards him. Actually. Yeah. It was really, and it wasn't like a leaked video. It was literally just like, he just came out and said it, and he got a real nasty reaction. I remember when it happened with Frank Ocean. I remember when YoungBoy was just, and this is recently. The reason why I like to bring up the YoungBoy thing was because this is just a few months ago. Yeah. YoungBoy went on and he made the song where he's just wearing makeup, and he came out saying how I like to put on makeup. he got bashed for it like crazy.
And not even though Young Thug, we know who's not gay. Sometimes he likes doing stuff that maybe kind of like seems suspect, and people still like have the biggest reaction towards that. You know, like him wearing a dress. Like, oh my gosh, what? Young Thug wearing a dress? Or that cat? I remember like people were going heavy on that comment that Young Thug made on his post. He said, "F me, daddy." Everybody was wilding out. But like, let's say like if he was openly gay, they wouldn't have seen that as an issue. Like, everybody's like,
bro, with Young Thug, I think he just did that for attention. I don't think Young Thug is doing that because he's gay. I think Young Thug.
No, he's not gay. Y'all know that. No, he's just.
I think he just does.
It's just because he knows how people are homophobic. That's what I'm trying to make. People are are really homophobic. No, not just men. Women are too. Like, for me, as much as they try to hide it, like everybody a little homophobic in a certain type of way.
That's a great point to bring up. Because I'm curious to see what the fallout for Isaiah Rashad is right now. Because like you said, you look on Twitter right now, or social media. I didn't see the Shade Room posted, which is interesting.
That's crazy. They're hella messy.
I know. I'm actually interested in that and see them posted. But like I was saying though, I'm curious to see the fallout of all this because I want to see like where how does like Isaiah Rashad come back from this? Does he just like change up his whole image? Does he release an album talking about it? Does he like?
It's crazy. It took us 5 years to get an album from him when you look at it. So think about how long it is going to get another project from him now.
I think.
Please, I hope it's not long. Please, I need that Z-Wop now.
Kind of makes me interested to see how a person like Lil Nas X was able to succeed just being a straight gay dude. Like not being straight gay, but you know what I mean. Like just being like going like openly out there gay, like music video dude, like don't care anything like that, faking he pregnant and everything like that. Is it like, you think Isaiah Rashad would take a route like that afterwards?
He's too old to be doing that. Respectfully, Lil Nas X is like, what, 20, 21, around that age. Isaiah Rashad's in his 30s, he can't be, he's a little too old to be, doing that. He's just gotta make his music and go at this point,
Yeah, I think Isaiah Rashad's best bet is just make music, act like it didn't happen. I mean, not act like it didn't happen.
You cannot act like that didn't happen. It's on like every blog post right now. If it's not on Shade Room, like you said, it's going to be on Shade Room soon.
I'm surprised they didn't post it. I'm probably wrong. They probably did post it. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's really like, it's kind of like caught me off guard because was I expecting Isaiah Rashad to be gay? No. Was I expecting him to be bi? No. Listening to his music? No. Trust me, I wasn't expecting anything like that. But we've had examples of artists probably covering things up. Like you said, there's the Lil Wayne incident, but we don't know the full story, 100% story.
All we just know is that his lips touched Birdman's lips, and that's exactly what we saw. He was stunned like his daddy.
So it's like, that's why I'm like, you don't really know who these artists are at the end of the day. And I always try to bring this up. I remember when we were talking about stan culture and everything like that. I try to say how you shouldn't follow these artists like that heavily because you don't really know who they are at the end of the day. But I think still, even with this, it kind of portrays and kind of shows that you really don't know who someone is until you really get to know them. And a lot of people got secrets that I'm sure they don't want coming out anytime soon, It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It's just, I feel like this whole Isaiah Rashad incident, it's kind of sad that it got exposed like that. I think that was the worst part about it.
I want to touch on how we were talking about the homophobia within the music industry, because it's not only with Lil Nas X. Because we could talk about how Lil Nas X is being accepted, but even still he still battles issues. Like when he dropped Montero, even though it went number one, he was getting criticized badly for it. Yeah, because I didn't mess with the same part because I am a Christian. That was the part that alarmed me. Him having dudes in there, he can do it all he wants. He's gay. Isaiah Rashad still showed you how racism and homophobia is still present within the media. We just all need to do better. This doesn't change who he is because if this is who we found out who he was, and he's been this same person all along. So if you loved him back then, you can still love him now because he's no different, you know.
Exactly, and that's the whole like thing that should come down to. Because it's like, all right, the embarrassing video came out, but are you gonna shame him? Are you gonna blast him, tear him down? Oh, I'm not listening to no more. Okay, so you've been listening to a gay man for the past 10 years. Well, you gonna stop now because you finally figured out that? Nah, you've been listening to a gay dude for the past 10 years. Like, you can't change nothing about that, bro. Like, and so, but like I said, I just want, it's a really interesting thing to like look at and everything like that, and really like go over when you think about it. And like you said, the biggest comparison to this is like Lil Nas X, because it's interesting to see how Boondocks used to make fun of it all the time back then with Gangstalicious.
Yeah.
And
because that's how people are, you know? Like,
that's how they are behind closed doors.
I also forgot fashion too. Kanye West, man, when he came on, like everybody was wearing like baggy clothes, but when Kanye West came on, he was wearing clothes that actually fit, you know. Yeah. Him and Pharrell were the first people to wear skinny jeans. People were like calling them all types of F words. I'm not gonna say it. All types of calling them, accusing them of being gay and stuff. It's just like, it's just like we all gotta like stop like having this toxic masculinity towards men. Men do have it with each other, but women also put that toxic masculinity mindset on men too. It's everybody does it, you know. We all gotta learn how to accept a celebrity for who they are, or just mind like your own business, you know. Like their life is not yours.
Exactly. Like you said, it's a good point. Like like I said, I wonder what Aaron McGruder thinks now. He's you know Aaron McGruder, right?
Yeah.
The guy who made Boondocks. And basically, I'm curious to see what he thinks about Lil Nas X right now too. To see that actually all really came true, and like he's more explicit than what the Boondocks even portray, which is crazier, and he's more explicit in the public eye too with it. But like I said, I think it's a interesting thing. I'm gonna wrap up right here. You got anything else to do?
I'm pretty good right here.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap it up here. So with the whole Isaiah Rashad thing to close this out, basically I would say, look, if you're gonna stop listening to him because you found out that he was gay, well, joke's on you because you've been listening to a gay dude for the past 10 years. So I don't really see the difference in like stopping now. You've been listening to a gay dude, so when your favorite artist is gay, so you can't do nothing about it, bro. This is his choice. I'm sure a lot of your other favorite artists are gay too. They just don't want to tell you, or they hide it from you like crazy because they only post the best pictures on Instagram. They don't post all of them. And like I said, thank y'all for watching. I hate doing this part, but thank y'all for watching. And if you stay to the end, don't forget, leave a like, subscribe, JdotStudios.